Thank you all so much for joining in this week. It is once again after midnight in in England. So so much of my work will be staying awake for the duration of practice, but I'm really happy to be here. I'm currently in Oxford, right pretty close to the campus, Oxford University, which is kind of right behind me, at my dear friend's house. Um, and yeah, we finished retreat last week, and some of you may have joined me for retreat as well, which was really beautiful as well. And today I wanted to open our session with this song, the Keep Going On song. And Sister Sadada offered the song in retreat in one of her sessions. And it just really touched me, quite a bit. Um, and it's like when you hear one of those songs that you really need to hear, right? Um, and particularly the lyric around, we're making this up as we go along. Um, and all I have is a rough start, right? And that's where we're just gonna have to start is rough, right? Um, those lyrics really, kind of struck me because so much of my practice, really honestly, is just making it up every day. Um, you get into these moments, these periods of really intense crisis right now that we're living through, that we're witnessing, and sometimes you kind of lose all the formality, you lose all the training, and you just find yourself waking up every day and going, okay, I just have to make this shit up now, right? Because I wasn't expecting this, right? I wasn't planning on this particular thing happening, right? But here it is, it's happening. And I am just having to make it up. My response is just something I'm making up. Um, and it feels rough, right? But I'm just gonna keep going on, right? Just keep going on. And that too is such an important Dharma teaching as well, that we keep going on, we keep getting up, we keep practicing, we keep loving, we keep holding space for our brokenheartedness, we keep holding space for our rage, we keep holding space for this utter disbelief, right? That what's happening is happening, right? Um, we keep opening and holding space and offering space, for everything that's arising for us. um, and I think, yeah, this is difficult. Like this isn't easy, but as I've said many times before, I think so many of us really chose this time to be here, to be in this world, to be in this moment because we wanted to be here to help. Like we wanted to be here to benefit beings, right? Um, and we keep moving on. We keep doing what we need to do, even if we feel as if we have no idea what we're doing, right? Um, I've been sitting with so many people on this trip, on this tour, who are so like deep in process, right? Deep in transformation, deep in trying to get clear about what their work is. And I've had these conversations with people who have so deeply inspired me, in my practice, right? They've inspired me through the work that they're doing of just like showing up consistently over and over and engaging and holding the rage, holding the sorrow, holding the despair, and trying to get clear, about what it is they should be doing right now. Um, and it's such overwhelming work sometimes. Like to do this level of what I call emotional labor, like this level of emotional work, this level of emotional labor to continue just to show up, right? Some of you also joined me last Thursday for Free Radicals, which was really, really quite powerful with my friend Sana. And we were just, we were talking about, or at least I was talking about initially, just about the work of abolition right now as well. That abolition, yeah, is about disrupting, abolishing the systems of harm that keep us from being free, that keep us from being resourced, right? But this is also, abolition is also about learning how to show up as well. Abolition and the healing that abolition is promoting is really about being present, right? It's about showing up, it's about telling the truth, right? And if we can't get to the suffering, to the deep discomfort of things, we won't ever get to the truth, right? But you can't get to the suffering if you're not showing up to it, if you're not practicing being present to what's happening, to what's arising, right? There's no liberation without being present, and there's no healing, there's no balancing or coming back into balance without awareness, without being present, without showing up and just opening to and experiencing as much as possible everything that's arising. And when we attempt to experience everything, I call that consuming the chaos, right? Consuming the chaos through awareness, through holding everything that's arising, like for us. Right? And this is incredibly important. Like, this is, if you're not willing to show up, then there's no point in, you know, doing this practice, right? There's no point in talking about how much we want to benefit people, right? We start the work of getting free, we start the work of healing, we start the work of helping to support others by choosing to be in this moment, choosing to be aware, right? Choosing to tell the truth about suffering, choosing to tell the truth, about systemic harm and systemic violence, right? And I've been really thinking about this. And two, last week, or a couple of days ago, I posted this thing on Instagram about, fascism, and just about how fascism and, any system of violence arises because we stop paying attention, right? And our spiritual practice can be something that we can actually use to bypass, right? This moment of rising violence, this moment of rising fascism all over the world right now, in this moment. And I believe that our spiritual practices are really about helping us to tell the truth about what's happening so that we can begin to do the work of disruption, right? Disrupting fascism, disrupting this kind of intense rigidity that gives rise to these experiences of dominance, of control, of war, of genocide, right? That gives rise to situations where resources are restricted and people don't have, like, or can't get what they need to be well, right? Of course, some of you, most of you, have studied the aspirations of Medicine Buddha, which when we do longer teachings on Medicine Buddha, I always try to return back to those aspirations. But the aspirations of Medicine Buddha, or these, are believed to be the aspirations that Medicine Buddha trained in life after life as he was, or if they were, um, um, like obtaining, enlightenment. Um, and these aspirations were things that they came back to over and over and over again in their lives, right? And I've talked about, how I believe that's possible and so forth. But, those aspirations were always mostly about addressing the real harm that people were experiencing, the harm of authoritarianism, the harm of famine, the harm, that we experience when we don't, have access to resources, and how that lack of access to resources was directly related to healing, right? Because when we talk about healing, when we talk about the tradition of Medicine Buddha, we also have to talk about the ways in which many of us are kept from experiencing the real kinds of healing we should be experiencing because of systemic um, inequalities and systemic violence, right? Um, so again, right, if we're not talking about systemic violence, we're not actually talking about real healing. And if we're not talking about real healing, then we're not talking about real liberation, right? So this is what brings us into this practice. This is what brings us into this profound tradition of Medicine Buddha, right? Of Minla Sangha, right? Um, if you're not interested in the suffering of people, and the ways systems keep us from being free and healed, then this isn't the space for you. I'm not the teacher for you, right? I'm just going to continually piss you off and trigger you, right? Um, and everything that I say is going to feel aggressive and it's going to feel like I'm bullying you, right? If we're not on the same page about this. Right. And this is just kind of how it is moving forward. If you're not about liberation across the board, then I don't see how we can be working together in any capacity. Right. Right. Um, yeah. So we move into our practice now. As we move into our practice, I want us to take these reflections, these aspirations into our practice, right? This practice is more than just feeling well, right? It's more than just, wanting necessarily people, our beloveds, to be well. This is about us getting free from all the causes and conditions that prevent us, right, from getting free, that prevent us from remembering who and what we are, right? This is what we're ultimately practicing for, right? And may our practice, as we begin, and may our practice not just benefit us, but may it benefit all beings, right? May it liberate beings who are struggling to survive wars and famine and genocide, people who are trying to survive their loneliness, their despair, their hopelessness, right? People who are trying to survive all the negativity that gets projected onto them, right? All the people who are trying to survive the brokenheartedness right now. May our practice be dedicated to them, and may this practice be dedicated to you, right? All those who have joined us in this moment of practice, right? And may any being connected to you benefit from the practice that we will begin to engage with. Right? And that we all, no matter who we are, where we are, may we keep going on. May we keep going on. Even in our brokenheartedness, even in our hopelessness, may we keep going on. And in that aspiration, this intention to keep going on, may we connect and experience the profound, awakened consciousness of Medicine Buddha. May we meet Medicine Buddha in this simple intention to keep going on for ourselves and for all beings who rely on us. So at the beginning of practice, I just invite you just to take a moment or two, maybe a minute, to just reflect, perhaps, on this intention of keep going on, keep going on, keep going on for yourself, keep going on for others who rely on you. But what does it mean to keep going on? And what do you need to keep going on? Just reflecting on some of these questions for about a minute before we continue deeper into the practice. So a couple more seconds. And so as we continue, I also invite you just to do just a check-in, just for yourself in your own space, right? How are you? Right? How are you? Are you okay? Right? Right? Are you well? Where's the struggle at? Right? Where's the tension? Where's the discomfort? Right? And also, where's the gratitude? Where's the joy? Right? What are you looking forward to? What are you hopeful about? Are you okay? And however you are in this moment, is the first offering we prepare for Medicine Buddha. So as we move deeper into the practice, we'll open with our opening mantra, the mantra of evoking Medicine Buddha. Umen la sange kino soha. Medicine Buddha, please think of me, please look upon me. And as we offer this mantra, I want you to imagine that however you're experiencing Medicine Buddha right now, however you're feeling them, as we sing this mantra and chant this mantra, I invite you just to imagine offering how you are in this moment, be it wonderful, be it anything opposite, right? Or something in between. Offer this experience to Medicine Buddha. Just imagine just giving it away, laying it at the feet of the Buddha, right? Letting it go and saying, this is what I have to offer right now. And this is about telling the truth. This is really about showing up to the present moment, with as much integrity as possible. Offering this to Medicine Buddha. And we'll begin our mantra practice by singing and chanting Om, an elongated Om, then going into the mantra 3 times, and then ending with another elongated Om. Okay, and beginning with Om. Om. Om la sange kino soha. Om la sange kino soha. Om la sange kino soha. Om. Again, offering how you are in this moment into this experience of Medicine Buddha. Whatever experience of Medicine Buddha you're having, be it a full-on tangible experience or either a very vague, ambiguous, spacious experience, just offer it. Just say, I let this go. I offer this to you. And again, we're not offering something negative or harmful to Medicine Buddha. What the awakened Buddhas experience in our offering is just emptiness. Emptiness offered back to emptiness. And that's what it means to experience. Our true natures are to experience an awakened mind or an awakened consciousness, that we begin and that we have the capacity to experience everything as an arising of emptiness within spaciousness. And so when you're ready, shifting your attention down to the seat, again, as always, noticing the weight of your body and the seat rising to hold you. Invite yourself back into this moment, into the space that you're practicing in, noticing any sounds, any scents, anything that you're smelling, maybe feeling the temperature of the space, noticing the texture and quality of light. Noticing the taste in your mouth, noticing anything your physical body is making contact with. We're calling ourselves into the moment. So calling ourselves out of the past, calling ourselves out of the future, returning back into this moment. Because this moment is the only door that freedom or liberation can happen in. The present moment is how we begin to heal and return back into wholeness and balance. And when you're ready, shifting your attention, beginning to touch into the earth, the land under you. And in your own way, recognizing the land, the history of the land, the communities of people who tended to the land that you're practicing on. And always asking the land for permission to abide with it. And we should always be asking permission from the land. Even if we pick a flower from land, we should be asking permission. Ask consent. When we ask permission from the land to practice on the land, then the land becomes a co-collaborator, a co-practitioner, maybe, if you will, with us. Not only does the land become a collaborator, the natural world and the elements join us in our practice. Just a few more moments of abiding with the land. And so when you're ready, shifting your attention back up to your tailbone. And imagining that we're beginning to breathe in and out from the tailbone. And to go further, we begin to imagine that as we inhale, we are inhaling from the earth into our tailbone. And as we inhale up from the earth, we're also inhaling the energy, the consciousness of the earth into the tailbone, which could also be the root chakra as well. So inhaling the energy of the earth, the energy of stability, groundedness, stabilization, all of that, inhaling that up into the tailbone. And now imagine as you exhale, we're exhaling the energy of the earth from the tailbone up into your heart center. When the energy of the earth begins to collect in the heart center, and we begin to feel our heart centers opening, expanding. And as our heart center opens from this energy of the earth, I invite you to imagine that Medicine Buddha begins to awaken within our heart centers. We can experience this awakening in any way that feels appropriate for us. But maybe you begin to imagine that in the heart center, this image of Medicine Buddha begins to appear, nestled in our heart center. Or you begin to imagine, or rather, believe faith, or have trust rather, that Medicine Buddha is awakening. And as Medicine Buddha awakens in our heart center, imagine that Medicine Buddha begins to radiate this healing white light throughout our bodies. And this energy, this radiance becomes so strong that our bodies, our physical bodies, begin to dissolve into white light. As our physical bodies dissolve, they begin to transform into this expression of Medicine Buddha that reflects the one that has awakened in our heart centers. So we become expressions based on our experience of Medicine Buddha. And as we take this form, we begin to shift our attention to the main mantra. Dea taum bekense, maha bekense, rasa sumo gate, soha. Dea taum bekense, ma bekense, rasa sumo gate, soha. Seyantaum begenze, maha begenze, rasa sumungate soa. Seyantaum begenze, maha begenze, rasa sumungate soa. Ma begins, as a soon that the soul beyond begins, ma begins, as a soon that the soul beyond begins, ma begins, as a soon that the soul begins, ma begins, as a soon that the soul Teanda begins, ma begins, rasa sumunga Teanda begins, ma begins, rasa sumunga Teanda begins, ma begins, as a sumun soa. Teanda begins, ma begins, 수문가 태소와 대한다운 백은세 백은세 마백은세 라서 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 수문가 태소와 대한다운 백은세 마백은세 라서 수문가 태소와 대한다운 백은세 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 백은세 마백은세 라서 수문가 태소와. Turn our attention to our prayer requests now. And as always, we invite all of our sources of refuge into this space, all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, the Yidams, the Dharma protectors, all beings of light, all benevolent ancestors, the protectors and spirits and guardians of the land and the elements. We invite you here. We offer these prayers to you, and we pray that you work on our behalf to bring about the fruition of these prayers as we, in our own practice, work to manipulate, shift, impact the causes and conditions of what's happening for those we're offering prayers for, to create the change that we most want and need to see. We're offering prayers for all those who are brokenhearted and for those who are suffering in any way. May we all benefit from this practice and be liberated. Offering prayers for Elle that she have the safety and support that supports her healing and her flourishing. Offering prayers for Richard that he needs help, and may he find and receive it so that he and those who love him are safe and well. Offering prayers for Jennifer and her 3 boys to have the money, mental health support, reliable housing, healthy relationships so they can experience the ease and joy that are their birthrights. Offering prayers for Casey's safe passage and comfort for all of us grieving the end of his embodied presence in our lives. Offering prayers for my daughter R, who is navigating adolescence, her parents' divorce, and autism all at once. Prayers that she is able to eat and be angry with her dad while being in his presence. Offering for her dad that he deepen his empathy, compassion, humility, and integrity and show up for her in the way that she needs. And offering prayers for myself that I'm able to live as the deity and quit playing it small. Offering prayers for all those who are suffering in prisons and in bondage, that they experience freedom. Prayers that all beings experience safety, dignity, and belonging. Offering prayers that my symptoms may ease and may my capacity grow. Offering prayers that L may feel my care. Prayers for P, may they feel supported. Offering prayers that all systems of violence and erasure be dismantled and that we begin to truly care for one another. Offering prayers for healing and protection for Jehuti, who is in critical condition after a serious car accident. Offering prayers for N and R, their peace and well being as they age, for all negativity to be removed from nibblings, Rafa, and all areas of conflict worldwide. For myself, that my immunity strengthens and helps me not to keep getting sick. May all beings benefit from my life's blessings. May all beings in all realms be free ASAP. Azadi Ashe. Prayers for healing for Jay. Prayers for protection for all those sheltering in Rafa. Prayers for that all beings struggling for liberation are protected and have the resources that they need. Offering prayers for the great uncertainties and mystery. I accept all that I cannot change and find the courage to change the things I can. Offering prayers for me as I go through cancer treatment. Prayers for my brother Michael and for my friend Richard. May they find healing and freedom. Offering prayers for all beings traveling through fear and uncertainty. May we trust in the unseen. Offering prayers that my mom's body, mind, and heart are healed. Prayers that our caregivers do so with grace and tenderness and have the support and peace they need. Offering prayers for all those fighting for liberation, for the health of Leah, Jay, Abby, Greg, and Don. Prayers for me as I find presence and joy in my new day to day reality. Offering prayers for the liberation of the people and lands of Palestine. May the genocide come to a complete end. Offering prayers that I can have a soft and open heart and embody love and connection. Prayers that I live in authentically and share my gifts with the world. Offering prayers for my beloved wife and children that they find their way through depression and anxiety. Prayers for my beloved brother and his wife as she faces the end of this lifetime due to cancer. Prayers for my beloved son who is graduating from college this weekend, and for the safety of our family members who are traveling to witness this achievement and celebrate with him. For the liberation and community. Prayers for myself that I continue to heal and that I not lose all hope in the midst of my unpredictable, heartbreaking healing journey. Prayers for all affected by the overwhelming floods in south of Brazil these days. Offering prayers for all who are hungry and thirsty. Offering prayers for my mom. I ask that she continues to heal and be cured of her ailments from cancer treatments. Offering prayers that I show up as a liberated being and take up space in places that make me feel like I don't belong. Offering prayers for all the children in Rafah and Gaza and all of Palestine as they are being bombed right now. Strength for all the students and activists still resisting genocide and risking all. Offering prayers for all the children of Gaza, the Congo, Sudan, Ukraine, suffering this senseless brutality. May we find a way forward that honors the dignity of all beings, especially the little ones. Offering prayers for the inhabitants of the Great Plains. May they be protected from the forecasted storms, particularly those who are unhoused or facing housing insecurity. Offering prayers that I prove to be a worthy steward of the Council of Three Fires land, may yet know my loving intention. Offering prayers for support from the Sangha as I navigate turbulent times, I find more love and acceptance in this space. Offering prayers for my relentless existential dread. Offering prayers to my dear, that my fear and heartbreak give way to clarity. I find the strength to release my expectations and transcend the limits of my imagination regarding my future. Offering prayers that my brokenheartedness, despair, and confusion inform and enrich my contribution to the world rather than cause me to collapse. Offering prayers for my niece Q, who was in a car accident last night and is safe physically, but undoubtedly feeling the impact. May she be held by deep care and support, including from me. Offering prayers for fortitude as I connect with my spirituality, heal from trauma, and stop poisoning my body. May I have the strength to put down the crutches that are killing me so I can live to fulfill my purpose on this planet. Offering prayers that I may live into presence and acceptance rather than continuing with habitual comparisons and shame. Offering prayers to my heart to keep open, connected, and joyful, far away from judging. Offering prayers that my partner and I can grow, connect, and be present together. Offering prayers that I may find some pain relief with my new medication and be able to be more in this world and help others. Offering prayers to my wife and I, who are both grieving parents. Offering prayers that we can grow, transform, and become strong together again. We begin to continue to offer prayers for our dear friend Reggie Hubbard, who suffered a stroke a couple of weeks ago, and we pray for his healing and support. And we continue to pray for, as always, all beings in this world, all communities of people who are struggling to survive wars, famine, genocide, from the people in the Congo to the Sudan to Gaza, and so many others, including Haiti. And we continue to pray for the complete abolition of all systems of harm and violence that prevent so many of us in this world from being free and resourced. We offer these prayers to our sources of refuge. We pray that you bring about the change and the liberation that we so intensely need right now. May it be so. And when you're ready, as we turn back into our mantra practice, we again beginning to imagine that our radiance as Medicine Buddha begins to radiate into this world, fulfilling all the prayers that have been offered, that our radiance, our expressions as Medicine Buddha brings about the change that we so need to see right now in the world and for ourselves. And we begin again. O te andam begenze, begenze, ma begenze, razu sumuga te soa. Te andam begenze, begenze, ma begenze, razu sumuga te soa. Te andam begenze, begenze, ma begenze, razu sumuga te soa. Te andam begenze, begenze, ma begenze, razu sumuga te soa. Te andam begenze, begenze, ma begenze, razu sumuga te soa. Te andam begenze, begenze, ma begenze, razu sumuga te soa. Te andam begenze, begenze, ma begenze, razu sumuga te soa. Te andam begenze, begenze, ma begenze, razu sumuga te soa. Te andam begenze, begenze, ma begenze, te soa. Te andam begenze, begenze, ma begenze, razu sumuga te soa. Te andam begenze, begenze, ma begenze, razu sumuga te soa. Te andam begenze, begenze, ma begenze, razu sumuga te soa. Te andam begenze, begenze, ma begenze, razu sumuga te soa. 대한다 백은세 백은세가 백은세 아수수가 제소하 대한다 백은세 백은세가 백은세 아수수가 제소하 대한다 백은세 백은세가 백은세 아수수가 제소하 대한사 백은세 백은세 마백은세 아수수문 약태소아 대한사 백은세 백은세 마백은세 아수수문 약태소아 대한사 백은세 백은세 마백은세 아수수문 약태소아 대한다 백은세 백은세 마백은세 아수수문 같대소아 대한다 백은세 백은세 마백은세 아수수문 같대소아 대한다 백은세 백은세 마백은세 아수수문 같대소아 대한다 백은세 백은세 마백은세 라스수문 같애소아 대한다 백은세 백은세 마백은세 라스수문 같애소아 대한다 백은세 백은세 마백은세 라스수문 같애소아 대한다 백은세 백은세 마백은세 아수수문 같애소아 대한다 백은세 백은세 마백은세 아수수문 같애소아 대한다 백은세 백은세 마백은세 아수수문 같애소아 대한다운 백은세 백은세 마백은세 아수수문ят대소아 대한다운 백은세 백은세 마백은세 아수수문ят대소아 대한다운 백은세 백은세 마백은세 아수수문ят대소아 대한다운 백은세 백은세 마백은세 아수수문 같애소아 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 대한다운 백은세 백은세 마백은세 아수수문 같애소아. And we, as Medicine Buddha, release another wave of light into the world, imagining that this last wave of light purifies, heals, liberates all beings, including the land and the elements. When you're ready, turning attention back to our bodies in the form of Medicine Buddha. We begin to imagine that we too begin to dissolve into white light. And as we dissolve into white light, this white light slowly begins to dissolve into emptiness itself, freeing our awareness to permeate space itself boundlessly, fluidly, open and clear. And when you're ready, slowly begin to re-arise back in your normal physical form, returning attention back to your seat, noticing the weight of your body and the seat rising to hold you. And beginning to offer some simple movements back into your bodies. Maybe taking a few deep breaths as well. And again, just like we did at the beginning of practice, checking in with yourself, noticing anything that has shifted or changed. How are you? How are you feeling now? Where's the struggle, the tension, discomfort? Where's the joy and gratitude and hope? Do you have more of what you need to keep going on? Just reflecting. So when you're ready, we turn our attention to Shanti Deva's prayer found in the chat box, which we'll recite 3 times. May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as Earth, I always support the life of all the boundless creatures, and until they pass away from pain, I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach into the ends of space. May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as Earth, I always support the life of all the boundless creatures, and until they pass away from pain, I also be the source of life for all the varied beings that reach into the ends of space. Lastly, may I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine. May I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as Earth, I always support the life of all the boundless creatures. And until they pass away from pain, I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach until the ends of space. And may it be so. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. It was so wonderful to practice with you all again. Um, and yeah, so you have my website, you have everything that's going on, and I'll see you next time. I'll see you again in, I think, on May 20th. So I'll be back with you all practicing, and I'll be back home then. Okay. Well, thank you to Eric. Thank you to Karen, and thank you to everyone who has been stepping up to do practice leading. We really appreciate it. I deeply appreciate that as well. So we just keep going on, um, keep practicing on, keep praying, and keep showing up in whatever way is appropriate for you in these times. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone, and I'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.